How you view yourself does determine the level of action you take. For a lot of people, they are functioning with limiting beliefs that are causing them to stay in fear as well as feel stuck. And it's my desire that you know who you really are. So in today's conversation, we're going to be talking about 3 identity reminders for dreamers. Welcome to the Dream Lifestyle Podcast, where we talk all things mindset, goals, and self-leadership. So if that is interesting to you in any way, shape, or form, please be sure to hit the subscribe, be sure to like, be sure to leave a review, share this with someone, because that enables this podcast to go out to more dreamers like yourself who are looking to achieve success. And in this conversation, we're just going to be talking about 3 identity reminders for you as a dreamer, because we're in that part of the year. We're in the middle of the year, and sometimes we just need that one reminder about who we are, and not so much a reminder about what we can do, what the goal that we're pursuing or what we're looking to achieve. Sometimes we just need that little nugget of encouragement about our identity. And so these 3 things I'm going to share, they may be unfamiliar to you. If so, I hope that you write them down and you really keep them close. But you also may be familiar with them. And if you are familiar with them, that's why it's just a great reminder, because with these reminders, particularly when we're talking about identity, you really are empowering and encouraging yourself to simply take one step forward, because there are a lot of people right now in this portion of the year who have given up. There are a lot of people at this portion of the year who have lost momentum. They feel super uncertain to the point where they just stop. And I don't want that to be you. And so I hope that the 3 things I'm going to share with you today just simply encourage you, like I said, to just take one step forward, because your identity is the foundation of any action that you take. So when we think about identity, we're basically just talking about how we view ourselves. How you view yourself really does matter. And before we even get to whether or not you will go do the thing, go hit the milestone or whatever the case is, you need to have a high level of self-confidence as well as a great understanding of who you are, so that way you can go do the thing. You've heard me talk about, the be, do, have principle. But a lot of us right now, we can get really tied up in the doing, but we need to make sure that we are very grounded with the being. And so the first reminder that I want you to understand about yourself as a dreamer is that you are more than your accomplishments. Hear me. You are more than your accomplishments. Now, why is that even important? Why does that even resonate with you as a dreamer? Understand, it's not always going to work out. Things are not always going to go according to plan. You will experience heartbreak. You will experience disappointment. And that's just the reality of the journey to success. So you need to understand that when you think about how you view yourself, you need to view yourself in such a way where you are confident in who you are, regardless of what you may have or may not have accomplished. Because if you have grounded your identity in your accomplishments, your life is just going to be on a roller coaster, where the only time you feel good about yourself is when you actually do something. The only time you feel good about who you are is when you're productive. The only time you like who you see in the mirror is when you are taking territory and winning and doing amazing things. And that's not to say you shouldn't feel good when you accomplish those things, but in the same way you win, there will be losses. So while you may be super up and you may feel happy and excited when you accomplish new things, because your identity may be rooted in your accomplishments, when things don't go according to plan, you feel like you've hit rock bottom. You feel as though you can't go on anymore. You are more inclined to quit because you have put your entire identity, you have placed your entire value of self on your accomplishments. And I don't want you to do that, because you have got to be consistent. You have got to view yourself in a consistent manner, regardless of what you accomplish or what you don't accomplish. And that's not to say you shouldn't strive for more. That's not to say you shouldn't always do your best, because that's what I want you to do. But I want you to think about your identity in such a way that you can suspend the result. And to me, that's what real faith is, where I can suspend the result. Yes, I'm putting in the work. Yes, I'm preparing well. Yes, I am doing the research. Yes, I'm doing all that I can to get a certain expectation that I'm expecting. But I am not putting all my chips in one place, that I'm putting my whole view of self on this one outcome of how my business does. I'm not putting my whole outcome of how I view myself based on whether or not I get promoted or whatever the case is. You need to make sure that your identity is grounded in something that is stable. That's why, at least for me, if I had to put on my pastor hat for a second, my minister hat for a second. Listen, are you doing everything you said you were going to do at the beginning of this year? If you are, great. If you're not, listen, it's okay. I just want to take a moment and invite you to join the wait list for the upcoming symposium, where you're going to grow, you're going to set goals, and you're going to strategize for success. Now, listen, all it is a wait list. It's totally free. There's no money involved. All you have to do is click the link in the description below. Go ahead and do that now, and then let's get back to the episode. I put all my identity in who God has designed me to be. And because of that, because I understand that I am loved by God no matter what I do, no matter how bad I may mess up, no matter how amazing I may do, I understand that God's love is consistent and He's always there for me. That helps me keep a level of confidence that no matter what I may be going for, no matter what I may face, no matter what I may experience, that I am always built for the challenge. No matter what may be in front of me, that I'm the person that's capable. So it doesn't matter whether I've lost 50 times in a row, doesn't matter if I've lost 1,000 times in a row. My confidence in myself is rooted in something bigger than any singular accomplishment. Now, I'm not saying that, I do believe that, you should give your life to Christ and all of that, but I'm not here to preach to you. That's not the vein I'm in here for. That's not what this podcast is for necessarily. But I'm just telling you that when you think about your identity, when you think about how you view yourself, you need to work your self-confidence to a place where it does not matter. It's not fixated on a certain turn of events. It's not fixated on any singular happening in order for you to actually feel confident. You should not only feel confident when everything's working. You should feel confident on the mountains as well as the valleys. And the only way you do that is through very practical things like saying affirmations, through very practical things like having a morning routine. There are very practical steps that you can take just to make sure that your identity is not rooted in any singular accomplishment. And this is important because, again, I know that this year you're going for stuff. I know this year that you are going for your biggest goals yet. And for some of you, it's going amazing. For others of you, Jesus, take the wheel. But all I'm telling you is that how you view yourself should not change based on the journey. Just know that you are the person that is able to get there, and you just need to take one step in the right direction. As long as you're intentional with taking one step in the right direction, and you always view yourself as the person that is able to take the step, you'll be all right. You'll be all right, especially at this point of the year. There's a lot of time left in the year. So let me just even encourage you with that I don't care what's happened to you this year, regardless of how bad it is. There's a lot of time left where you can get it all back. There's a lot of time left for you to, quote unquote, make up for lost time. There's a lot of time left for you to restore whatever's lost, and you can do it as long as you keep your self-confidence and how you view yourself in check, and it's grounded on a foundational level. Once you understand as a part of your identity that you are more than what you accomplish, you need to then understand that you are capable of anything you believe in. And this is important, and this is to encourage you that you are the one. You are able. It is possible for you, and you are only a few decisions away from achieving whatever your biggest goal is. But you need to know, just from an identity standpoint, that you are capable. And this is important because, listen, you have to first believe in whatever it is that you're going after. You have to believe in it. And when you really believe in your dream and you really believe that it's possible for you, you will then understand from an identity level, on a foundational level, in terms of who you are, that you are capable. And this is important because, again, as we go through life, as we look at our circumstances, things might not look how we want them to. We might feel like we deserve a yes, but it seems like we just keep getting a series of no's. But understand, you are capable. And so with this mindset, with this understanding of identity that we are capable of anything we believe in, that means that we will continue to knock. We will continue to try. We will never give up because we understand that we are one decision away. We're one action away from achieving our biggest goals. And this is so important. And this is why you need to understand this in your identity, because you will experience disappointments. You will experience the no's. You will experience the naysayers. You'll experience the doubters. You'll experience the worst of the worst, things that cripple you when you're on your way to your dream. And it will make you feel so bad that it doesn't even make sense why you even want what you want. But understand that goal that's in your heart, you want it for a reason. There is a reason that that dream is on your heart. There's a reason that you have that goal, that aspiration, whatever it is that you want to do. There's a reason for it. And because there's a reason for it, that means that it is in your DNA to achieve it. That means because you have that dream, you are the one that's able, and you just have to figure it out. That means that you have to build up your grit. You have to build up your grind. You have to build up your determination that you are not going to quit. Because if you quit, that's the easy way out. And for you to achieve all that you're looking to achieve in your life, you are going to need to build toughness. You're going to need to build persistence. You're going to need to build up your endurance. And the way you do that is by understanding on an identity level that you are capable of anything you believe in. And this is something that you need to remind yourself of every single day. When things get bleak, when things seem unlikely, you need to remind yourself that I am capable. I am able. And when you have these systems in your life where you're able to consistently remind yourself, you know what? I am able. And you look yourself in the mirror and you really believe, you know what? I am able to become debt free. You know, I am able to buy a house this year. You know, I am able to learn these new skills. Whatever your situation is, whatever your goal is, you need to know with confidence that you're able. Because like I said, you're one decision away from everything that you've ever wanted. And as long as you consistently make those decisions, consistently work on those skills, consistently work on yourself and focus on your growth, you'll achieve anything that you put your mind to, because it starts with your belief, but then it comes out of your hands. And when it comes out of your hands, you can change an entire community. You can make an impact that lasts beyond you. But you need to understand, and we talked about this just from an identity. It starts with your identity and how you view yourself, that you are capable of anything that you believe in. Now, once you really comprehend that you are more than what you accomplish, and you truly understand that you are capable of anything you believe in, then you need to understand and know that you have everything you need to take one step forward. You have everything you need. Anything that you are looking to do, you have what you need to just take one step. And there's too many people who are stuck because they feel like they need more money. They feel like they need certain relationships. They feel like they need this, that, and the other, as opposed to looking at what you have and focusing on the next step in front of you. Don't get fixated on how you want to make the 10-step leap or the 5-step hop. Understand that in order for you to achieve what you're looking to achieve, which is the impact, the success, the milestones, and all the things, you need to focus on one step. Because if you can consistently take one step every single day towards the life that you desire, the money you want to make, the relationships you want to have, the quality of life that you want to have, if you can discipline yourself to focus on the one step, which means you just look at what you have, you're not going to stay stuck thinking about what you wish you had. You're not going to be frustrated because of what somebody else should have done, would have done, could have done. You are going to take complete ownership over what you have, and you're going to apply it so you can take one step forward. And I want this to encourage you, because you may be feeling stuck right now because you're waiting on someone to do something. You're waiting to hear back. You're waiting to get certain feedback. You're waiting. Understand you have everything that you need to just take one step forward. It might not even feel like the biggest step. It might not even feel like a whole lot of progress, but trust me when I tell you, take stock in what you have. Don't try to think about what you don't have. Don't try to think about what you wish you had, what other people had, and you start playing this comparison game. Understand, when you look at your life, you have everything that you need to take one step forward. And it's with this mentality, you're further building up that grit, further building up your confidence. So that way, no matter how high you get, no matter how much you achieve, you always know that you have what you need to go for more. You have everything that you need to go to the next level. And you are going to stay so focused on what you have. You're going to work so hard at your thing. You're going to have tunnel vision for your life. You won't even have time to think about what they should have done. You're not going to have time to even allow that to enter your brain around what could have happened or whatever the case is. You will not allow yourself to be stuck because you know that you have everything that you need. And in order to do this, we actually need to know what we have. And from an identity standpoint, when we think about, again, just how we view ourselves. So if I know and view myself as the person that has everything that I need to take one more step, that means that I need to look at my resources. I need to look at my strengths. I need to look at my weaknesses. I need to look at what I know. I need to look at what I don't know. I need to think about my blind spots. These are all things that we have to take into consideration just so that we can have an understanding of what do I have. And if I don't know what I have, then I cripple myself from ever being able to take the one step. So before you think about what the next step is, I just want you to take stock of what you have, because what you have is enough to take one step forward. And I don't care what life looks like. I don't care what your circumstance is. You have what you need. Don't make excuses anymore. Stop complaining. You have what you need to take one step forward. And so it's with all these reminders, these identity reminders, that I hope that it encourages you. And I hope that it reminds you of who you are as a dreamer, so that you can achieve what is on your heart to achieve this year. Because if you understand, number one, just as a recap, number one, that you are more than what you accomplish. Number two, you are capable of anything you believe in. And then number three, you have everything you need to take one step forward. If you keep these three things in mind, if you focus on these three things, regardless of how hard it gets, regardless of how unlikely the situation is, whatever the case is, if you keep yourself in a space where you focus on these things, you'll be able to achieve anything that you put your mind to. So I hope that you enjoyed this conversation. I just have two favors to ask of you. Number one, I'm going to ask you to download the free growth guide that is in the description link below. That growth guide is essentially your resource to be able to put together a strategy for your success, as well as identify the 5 growth traps that can keep you stuck and in a place of fear when you are pursuing your goals. So I'm encouraging you to download that. It's a great resource to you. It's very practical, and I know it will help you and bless you. The second thing I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to ask you to share this conversation with somebody, whether you're listening to me on a podcast platform or you watch me on YouTube. Share this with someone, because you can change someone's life simply by sharing useful information. So if you know someone that wants to grow in their leadership, you know someone who wants to build discipline, you know someone that simply just has some goals that they're looking to achieve, this is a conversation that can change their life. This might be the exact reminder that they need to remind them of who they are. And that can come by way of you. So I'm going to ask you to share this with someone that you know, whether it be a friend, family, coworker, whoever the case is. So as you prepare for next week's conversation, I'm going to ask you to check out last week's conversation. And always remember, anything is possible when you lead well.